The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Alice Walker. Chapter 1. A Call from the Klan. All of this began in October 1978. As an intelligence unit detective for the Colorado Springs Police Department, the first black detective in the history of the department, I might add, one of my duties was to scan the 2 daily newspapers for any reports of information concerning any hint of subversive activity that might have an impact on the welfare and safety of Colorado Springs. It's surprising what some people will put in the paper. Prostitution, obvious money schemes, that sort of thing, mostly, but every once in a while there's something that really stands out. As I looked over the classified ads, one in particular caught my eye. It read, Ku Klux Klan, for information contact, P.O. Box 4771, Security, Colorado, 80230. Now there was something unusual. The town of Security was a suburban housing development area located southeast of Colorado Springs near 2 main military bases, Fort Carson and NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command. The community was predominantly military, and there had been no known Klan activity in these parts. So I answered the ad. I wrote a brief note to the P.O. Box explaining that I was a white man interested in obtaining information regarding membership in the KKK and furthering the cause of the white race. I wrote that I was concerned with niggers taking over things and that I wanted to change that. I signed my real name, Ron Stallworth, gave the undercover phone number, which was an unlisted, untraceable line, and used the undercover address, also untraceable. I placed my note in the envelope and dropped it in the mailbox. Why did I sign my real name to that note, which would go on to launch one of the most fascinating and unique investigations of my career? Like all of our undercover investigators, I maintained 2 separate undercover identities with the appropriate support identification, driver's licenses, credit cards, etc. So why did I have this lapse in judgment and make such a foolish mistake? The simple answer is, I was not thinking of a future investigation when I mailed the note. I was seeking a reply, expecting it would be in the form of literature, such as a pamphlet or a brochure of some kind. All in all, I did not believe my efforts would have any traction beyond a few mundane auto-mailed responses. I believed this blatant placement of such an inflammatory racist ad was nothing more than a feeble attempt at a prank, and by answering it, I would see how far the prank would play itself out. 2 weeks later, on November 1st, 1978, the undercover phone line rang. I picked it up and a voice said, "May I speak to Ron Stallworth?" "This is he," I said. "Hi, my name is Ken Odell. I'm the local organizer of the Colorado Springs chapter of the KKK. I received your note in the mail." Oh, hell, where do I go from here, I thought. "Okay," I said, stalling for time as I grabbed a pen and legal pad. "I read what you wrote, and I'm wondering why you would like to join our cause." Why do I want to join the Klan? A question I truly thought I never would have been asked, and I felt like saying, well, I want to get as much information as possible from you, Ken, so I can destroy the Klan and everything it stands for. But I didn't say that. Instead, I took a deep breath and thought about what someone wanting to join the Klan would actually say. I knew from being called a nigger many times in my life, from small confrontations in everyday life that escalated to an ugly rhetoric, to being on the job when I was giving someone a ticket or making an arrest, that when a white person would say that to me, the whole dynamic would change. By saying nigger, he let me know he thought he was inherently better than me. That word was a way of claiming some false power. That is the language of hate. And now, having to pretend to be a white supremacist, I knew to use that language in reverse.